Good morning, guys. So it is 4:02 a.m. and it's time to get into it. So I'm going to do the morning routine. You can see bed's not even made yet, and then I will talk to you guys when I'm sitting down at the desk for the day. All right, guys. So it is now 4:53, and I am filling out all of my data for the day. I'm actually done doing it, so I'm gonna get right into the work for the day, which what I've got to do is I've got to do a few client videos, which should take me about an hour and a half, maybe even shorter. Then I want to do some stuff related to setting up new software. There's what's called an attribution software where I can track who comes to my funnel and landing page from each video, and it does it through something called UTM parameters, and I've been meaning to set this up. I just haven't got to it. So I'm gonna do that this morning. And then I'm also going to add a little bit, I'm actually gonna add the channel that you're watching right now to my description on the main channel, just a very minor thing. And then if I can get all that done, I'm just gonna work between whenever I finish that stuff and my client meetings, which start at, let's see here. I have my first one scheduled for 11, but that might not happen today because that client's traveling. But if not, I'll work until 12 p.m., which is 7 hours from now. And that is on my script. And then I might also have another 2 hours between 12 and 2 after my team meeting to just keep putting in work on the script. So with potentially 7 to 9 hours of work on the script, given that I've done 10 hours of research already, I should be able to get it done. And yeah, from that point on, I'm gonna jump on my meetings and finish up the day. But I'm super excited with how everything is moving along, and just gonna get on crush. And yeah, I don't know, this is not to delay my day. I'll do this as I go and look for my nicotine gum. But this really is what I enjoy doing. Like I don't know, not that I've done a lot of things, but out of the things that I've done, this is definitely the one where I get the most fulfillment. So it is very nice being up in the morning at these times and, being able to just kind of think, work, and not even do it for the money, but just the game and the progress. I really do enjoy it, and yeah, it's great because you go through dark periods as an entrepreneur, or just anybody trying to do their thing, hit their goals, and it's always great to see the other side of it. And a concept that I've been learning about a lot recently is called being anti-fragile, which is pretty much, if you look at the guys who run the world, the Musks, Trumps, anybody for that matter, the amount of stress they have to deal with, at a certain point you just have to become anti-fragile, meaning that no matter what's going on, just don't let it affect you and learn to enjoy your life, right? Like, I will never try and let a Slack message determine the quality of my mood. And if you do that, you can really just begin to enjoy the gamified aspect of it, because your life is not in the balance, right? You're not going to get absolutely screwed if you don't get something immediately done. And I think that's such a good frame to come from it with. And so many people, especially when you get lifestyle inflation and you start spending too much on cars, rent, all this stuff, that's when that really creeps in. And I don't care whether it's like a good financial decision and you can like afford it, because you've got, even spending $10,000 a month making $100 is dumb. You should be able to buy the things over 10 times liquid in cash if you want to own them. And that's why, again, I have taken the route after experiencing and kind of falling victim to that, of just, hey, mortgage, and yeah, that's it, like mortgage and food. And I have all these peripherals and stuff that I've invested in. Actually, what I will say, So if I hit my goals for the week, which is to post my one video, to get my funnel optimized to begin converting at the 5% KPI that I have, and I can record and prep my next video and daily vlog to you guys on the personal account, I will buy myself a Herman Miller for the end of the week. And that is going to be really, really good because I sit in this chair all day, and yeah, it's a write-off. I sit in it every day. So it's a really big plus for me. And I kind of find the buying like office optimization things are my luxury. And I know it sounds weird, but I genuinely enjoy it. Like nothing beat the joy of when I bought this keyboard or added custom keycaps to it or anything like that. So I imagine with my chair or buying like a certain monitor, whatever it is, it will kind of be the same. But that being said, it is about to be 5 a.m., so I'm going to get to work, and I will see you guys later. All right, boys, so it is 6:46 now, which means that it is about an hour, 2 hours-ish later. And what I have done is knocked out all the client work. One of my clients who I'm really good friends with was actually in Sweden for an event. So I had like a 5-minute call with him just to review some of these scripts. So that's one meeting out of the way, which is super, super good. And outside of that, I just finished tracking all my finances. So I have found out that pre-team member, editor, and just like to run the creative side of my business cost, I'm spending $334 in subscriptions, which isn't that bad considering, if I show you here, how much I am saving. So I was just able to save, so I'm just doing a formula on the spreadsheet here. I was able to save like $200 in subscriptions, which again, seems like not a lot, but you times that by 12 and it's like, oh, it's 1,000-ish plus. So that's pretty nice. And it's actually almost like 2K over the year. So that's always solid. Just add that back into my pocket. Now, in addition to that, the next thing is I have invested into some new softwares. Like this one right here that I'm setting up right now is called RevTrack, as I mentioned, with the parameters and everything. So I'm getting that set up right now and gonna start adding some stuff to my descriptions so I can start tracking the UTM parameters, because I'm getting more serious about tracking and funnels and all that stuff, because I've just been so focused in the trenches on YouTube. I haven't really been running the info side of what I do. And yeah, I'm just going through the welcome onboard email right now. And a concept that I actually want to step outside and talk about with you guys is something called anti-fragility. So it's a book by some mathematician dude, and I know we're gonna have light in a second here. I'm just getting outside. Something I really do like to do in these super early mornings when the sun's not even fully up yet. And anti-fragility is this concept by this mathematician guy who's also an investor, and it talks about the concept of things that actually thrive under stress. So to give you a perfect example of this, that it actually talks about in the book. So back in the old days where countries would fight each other, and it was the men fighting each other with axes, bows, and whatnot, or even guns, and not like drones and nukes. Back in those times, Norse mythology had set up the place called Valhalla, which I'm sure you know about, but pretty much it's an eternal heaven for the warriors. And while other countries didn't have this, specifically like English, French, all those people, they believed that if they died, they were never going to live again. But these Norse guys, these Vikings, they had this belief that if they died, well, they would go to this eternal heaven. So as a result of that, the chaos of war and fighting that so deeply scared their enemies actually excited them, and because of that, they won in war, because the added chaos amplified their ability to fight, and it would scare the living shit out of every other nation to not screw with them. Now, their empire fell for completely different reasons, but that's a great concept of leveraging anti-fragility to your advantage. So the lens of how I think about this, and anti-fragile systems that thrive through chaos. A great one for me doing YouTube is the controversy that I actually get from making videos on other people that is inherently going to come whether or not I try and paint the person in a good lens. People are going to jump at it, and I imagine there will be some times where I might get like hate from things. People might react to my videos, have comments, but that is actually unfortunate. Like, this is just the way the world works, but that fear and all of that is benefiting me. The chaos of speaking about these other people's stuff goes on to benefit me. So that's an example of how it applies to what I do. And another great example of that is kind of the info product space. So when it comes to anti-fragile systems and building things for it, it's something called the barbell approach. I'll actually talk about this first, which is you have 90% of any of your resources hedged in something that is extremely safe, and then you have 10%, which is on high risk. And for me, I haven't spoke about this much in this series yet, but I view my 90% safe as this business and the brand that I'm building, and the 10% that is wacky and crazy is my crypto investments. And boys, I went crazy on meme coins. I made a good amount of money doing them, and I continue to plan on aggressively swing trading, I'll swing trade crypto. I still do. And what I'll also do is during any time where I get what's called alpha, which is just like knowledge of something coming out or something big is being announced, I will hop in those meme coin markets. I'll get on Axiom. It's Axiom now. Before it was BullX and Photon, but I'll get on those crypto meme coin trading under the Solana network, and I'll get in there and I'll send it. Like, I made a good amount of money on Mike Tyson's Behind. That's one of my iconic trades. I missed the Trump, but yeah, that's the concept of the barbell. And it really made me think about why and just how much more important doing info is than running the agency as I do. Because with the agency that I run right now, the ultimate truth of it, and I've known this for the entire time that I started, I just want to be articulate about it, I am under it's not anti-fragile, because I am under the repercussions and I am under the will of my clients, right? Whether they are happy or not determines my well-being, and I constantly have to manage those expectations and deliver week over week in order to keep them on board as clients. Versus an info product, I do a really good job making it one time, and I can have leverage systems that scale for it. So the info product's definitely going to be the route I'm going, especially given my brand growth. It's the only thing that supports monetizing that linearly. And I'm just in a phase right now where I don't quite want to sell the info, because I know the cash flow from my brand will better convert with the agency and everything I have right now. But I've got a banger offer that I'm cooking up, and it's already cooked up. I just have to continue to refine it in my funnel, which is one of my goals for this week and why I'm setting up all these marketing things. But pretty much, I believe that content's a long-term thing, and that selling a month-over-month paid service is super dumb for it, because you kind of screw over your clients. They don't know how long they have to keep posting in order to get a result, and anybody that guarantees you a certain amount of content success in a short time frame is lying to you. What I recommend, and even what I'm doing with my most recent client that I've onboarded, is I'm not going to be doing that much actual editing and production work, but what I've done is I've framed our working relationship as like, hey, I'm going to help you build a brand the right way, because even going viral soon is wrong. And I could make another video where I break down my full thesis on this. It would take me 30 minutes, and I want to get back to work, so I'm not going to do that. But and by the way, I'm just walking around my pool. This is, by the way, whenever you see these perspectives and you just see me walking around, it's just in circles around the pool. And the concept of that is I want to sell a YouTube done with you transformation info product, not a done for you service, in a way that actually supports what it takes to grow. and I think that it will absolutely rip compared to anything that I can do, and it will genuinely be framed as like a coaching offer that I can deliver at scale. So I'm super excited for that. I'm going to charge a one-time fee and it'll work for free until you profit from it, and that's going to be the offer that I rip, where I can still sell the content related services and not have it be an agency, because doing an agency sucks. Like, the model sucks. It makes you a slave to your clients in the short term for a temporary upside in cash flow, and you don't want to do that. So even going forward, I'm only really selling done with you unless it's somebody like this client where I have a good relationship. He actually lived with me for 2 weeks, so I am okay with going out of my way to get my hands on it, because I would be pretty much providing the done with you service for free with him, just if he messaged me, called me, whenever. So yeah, that's kind of the thesis on that. And yeah, I'm going to really need to put a big focus on getting this funnel converting, because boy, oh boy, once I get these sales calls on the calendar, I am going to obliterate with this offer, because I know it's so good. But yeah, I'm gonna head back in, start setting up those softwares. And again, dude, I've been holding a very crazy number one in. I guess this is becoming a theme now that I talk about this, but I have been holding this in. I got to get it out, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to sit down and set up the software. And the offer, the back end, the sales call part is good for this offer. The front end and the YouTube is good, but this middle piece of the landing page VSL conversion isn't that good. So I actually might reach out. I have a call with a really close friend on Wednesday to help me kind of go through and make some changes to that. I'm just letting it collect data. And then I might also call another close friend that I have and have him take a look, because he's probably the best marketer that I know. So that's planned for this week. Going to get back to work, and I'll update you guys after I'm done this next big task. All right, so we are back to our pool laps. It is 8 a.m.-ish, about an hour or so later, and I am done all of the administrative kind of stuff for the day. Client work, setting up that software, finance stuff, and what that means is it is time to keep chipping away at the 100 hours that I spend on each of my videos. And what I'm doing right now is I have to write the script for the video today, and a lot of the script and making a good YouTube video, at least from what I've seen, is pretty mental. You have to, not a mental, but very like vibey, energy-ish. It's almost impossible to write a good script if you do not have a vibe of the person that you're making it on, understand their core ethos, and even how the video is going to be presented. And when you're making videos on yourself, well, you are just a living embodiment of that. So you have to get in the mood that represents who you want to be. But when you're making it on another person, you kind of have to tap into their mindset and how they would approach things. And for this video on Rob, I mean, music's a core part of it. And maybe I'm coping. I don't think I am, but I am. But what I usually do is I'll get out here and I'll walk around the pool, and I'll listen to music and almost close my eyes-ish and imagine how I want the video to be structured and laid out. And I'll spend a good 10 to 20-ish, maybe even like 30 minutes. I do this a lot, even as I'm researching through the video as well. But I'm constantly, before even putting my hand on the script document or anything like that, I'm visualizing how I want the video to play out and what I want it to look like, how I want the pacing to be. And with this Rob video, it's very simple. I have house music as kind of the constant bass playing in the background. I've got Future as kind of during the hype moments when he's getting these big results. And then I have Hopecore music during the inspiration and lessons. And then during the down moments, if I had to kind of paint something there, it's interesting. I'm actually not sure about that one. I'll have to come back to you.
about the down moments and how I can kind of fit music into that. But it's going to be very important for this video, and I'm not going to use like classical piano, which, for example, was the entirety of the Iman video, because that's his brand, what he stands for, so it matches the vibe. And in Brez's, I did lo-fi. Honestly, I could have done way better. I could have done like Ken Carson instrumentals, all this stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that works with copyright either, so I didn't really touch it. But I could have done a way better job. And I'm going to make sure I nail that for this Rob video. It's going to be one of my focuses that I'm actually going to go ahead and write down right now, just so I don't forget that. Another thing that is very, very important with these videos that I try and make sure happens is I get the sections ironed out, because I have to go to the print shop and print out all the images after I write the script for exactly how the video is going to go and the different sections of it. So getting each of the sections laid out and then understanding the loop in the story. So don't worry about the words is how I think about the script. I think about, first off, the emotional roller coaster that I want to take somebody on throughout the video. And then the next thing that I think about after that is, sorry, let me write this down. A big focus on music for different sections. So this actually relates to the music, but depending on each section, have a vibe that goes along with that section. So again, the emotion in the start section for me might be, hey, I want to talk about Rob and how he went ahead and built this empire and how I was in the grind. So for the grind, I might include like the Future song, Everyday Hustle, and play like a section of that. I have to figure out how to do that without getting copyrighted. But I can already see it if I do I don't know if you know the song, but it goes every day and it goes through as he's doing his work. The next one that I was thinking about is as he talks about his DJing. He has actual mixes and playlists he's put together. So using those and finding one similar during the section where he talks about who Rob the Bank is, because that's his identity. The next one, and yeah, just really think about the emotional roller coaster. So starts off with pain. So first off, it actually starts off really good. Starts off as almost just like a glaze fest of like, oh, he's achieved this much. And after you've built up this massive, so the video starts, and okay, let's do a visualization. Imagine an actual roller coaster. The video starts literally as he's flying up the roller coaster. Like as you're flying up the roller coaster, he's like da-da-da, and it starts mid flying up the roller coaster. And from that point on, once we get to the very top, which will probably take me about 5 seconds to do, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, we are going to then all the way down, literally to the bottom. It's going to be a massive drop to the lowest moments of his story and how he actually had to build this thing. And then from that point on, we'll cover the gradual build up throughout, gradual, then the blow up again of how it went through and saw results. And then after kind of that blow up again, we'll bring it back to reality and current state. And then I'll cover all these strategies, which is kind of the neutral information level where the house is going to become important. And then at the very end, we're going to kind of do a far-fetched out trajectory for the future. And I like to visualize almost like I might use that little analogy of a roller coaster as what somebody's feeling throughout the video, because it's so impactful. Because the videos are emotion at the end of the day, right? All of it is emotion. Like I hate you have to be logical, because even logic is just trying to convince an emotional part of your brain. And if you can just understand that, you can craft a piece of art, a video that really abides by that and makes somebody care. And that's at the end of the day what matters. So yeah, I'm gonna do that, listen to my music, and I will sit down, and if I do this process right, the words kind of just fly to me. I know it's working in my brain when I start imagining out the words in the script, and then immediately as the thoughts, the words come flying to me, I sit down, I kind of run to my desk and sit down and just start script writing. And I'll sit here and wait until I get there, just vibing out. All right, so it is 3:54 and I am feeling it. I have just been locked in on this script and putting this whole thing together. And as you can see here, I got a lot of research that I showed you guys, I think it was either yesterday or so, but I got probably the first 3 to 4 minutes done of the YouTube video. And for people who might not understand the significance of that, the hook of the video is by far the most important part. So nailing that really sets the tone for the entire video. I also have planned out what I'm going to say. And I will tell you, this is by far the best video script that I have ever written without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, the way that I've done it, and if I can deliver on the recording, which I'm going to do until I get it perfect, but I come at it with this angle of being a bit more loose, pop culture-ish to really match the vibe of him, which I think I've done the best job of so far, by far at. And just doing that, and then also just understanding the nitty-gritty references to his story and going on that emotional roller coaster with also the pacing of the story, something I struggled with, way, way better. So I think the storytelling on this one's going to be way, like, a million times better, which I'm super excited to see. And beyond that, I mean, the only other thing that I was thinking about is how the creative process is, it's becoming a staple on this channel, but the creative process is very similar to using the washroom, number 2. Because I was talking to my friends and I made this joke, is like, I fill up my brain with information and inspiration, and I shit out greatness. So with that being said, I've got to get on the onboarding call, and then I'm going to go for my run, and that will be the end of my workday. And yeah, that's another 12-hour workday in the books, maybe a little bit more as I go to bed. But yeah, absolutely crushing it, and see you boys later. Okay, so I am done my run and I am about to get in the pool over here. And I don't know if you guys know this, I walk around out here a lot, but I've actually got a little shower in here that I have replaced my primary shower in. I should probably like renovate it up a bit and make it nicer, but to be honest, I couldn't be asked. The only thing I think about for the next very long time is YouTube. So probably I'm not gonna do that, if I'm being honest. Today was a good day. This will be like my last reflection piece. Got a lot of great script writing done, client onboarded, super excited to be working with him. I actually just booked a call right before this. I don't think it's qualified, so I don't know what will come of that. What else do we have? I did a little bit of funnel offer stuff today, which I showed you guys earlier, and I did a little bit more that just like changing the headline that I didn't show you guys, but that's not really that important. I'm gonna again sit down with my friend on Wednesday and really break that down and go through that. But in the meantime, I just have, what's it called? Just like the rev track set up, collecting data. Spoke with my editor today, really, really good conversation. I'm really appreciative and grateful for him. Urshad, if you're seeing this, love you, dude. He's been doing a great job, and we're actually gonna be pushing back the schedule for this video, unfortunately. But at the end of the day, I only have the goal to post twice in a month, so we have until next Monday to do that. And I want to get the highest possible quality out, and I don't want them to rush by any means. That being said, this Rob the Bank script is insane. By far the best script I have ever written, and I just want to make sure I master the execution and the editing and really get the vibe across that I want, because it almost has this like very hip-hoppy 2000-ish vibe that matches who Rob is as a person, and I just want to pull that essence off. Like, I've even been looking into copyright laws to see how I can keep the video up for monetization while I still use some Eminem music. So that's kind of that plan there. And I mean, yeah, like that is really just the big kind of stuff for the day. I mean, I think I'm getting skinnier. Like, I don't know. This is kind of like the physique check. I put on weight super easy, so I'm 5'6" and I've got good genes. I've got like a mix between almost like Russian and like Eastern European, like Russia, Ukraine, Poland, and then also African genetics. Like my parents are from Caribbean, and whatever that does with height makes you gain muscle really quickly. So I've been running every day, as you guys see, to actually lose weight. So probably in the best health that I've been when it comes to running cardio wise. I am getting some more acne. I don't really give a damn. It is kind of important for recordings and whatnot. It's just because I put too much sugar in my coffee. So it's a very easy fix. I literally don't eat any sugar outside of that. So I'll tone that down. Yeah, I've already taken my melatonin, and I'm going to slowly taper that back as the sleep schedule gets more and more used to my new circadian rhythm, so I don't start creating a dependency, because I know that's not good. And yeah, I'm feeling good. Life is good. These are I'm a big fan of Kanye. I've been a Kanye listener since like 4th or 5th grade, and keep context, I'm 18 now, so quite some time. And Spaceship off College Dropout, there's the line where he goes 5 beats a day for 3 summers. And I've been an entrepreneur for about 3 summers now. I've been working 12 hours a day pretty much every day for most weeks out of the year, outside of like a few little things that I've done, like really not taking more than 2 days off at a time. So really been on the grind there. But when it comes to YouTube, I've only been doing it for 1 year. When it comes to being literally the only thing that I care about, I've been doing YouTube the whole time. Like, you can go back on my other channel and look. But when it comes to it being my only focus, my entire life just being best videos ever, 1 year so far. And I know that by the third year of me doing this, it's going to be crazy. So that quote's really been resonating because Rob talks about it a lot. It's like one of his quotes that's kind of a claim to fame. And I resonate a lot with him because I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm like a whitewashed black guy. So his like blackwashed white guy style to a certain extent kind of crosses over with my life experiences. So resonate with that a lot. But I mean, I'm just yapping at this point. It was a great day. Tomorrow what I have planned is to finish the script. That's the thing. I always set out to finish something in the day, then I come up with an idea to make it so much better that it ends up not being finished that day. So that's whatever. But I'll finish the script. I'm saying that I might do it again. Who knows? But my goal is to finish the script tomorrow with the current plan that I have for it, and I think that would be feasible in the 10 hours of work that I have for it. And yeah, just maybe do some AI. Oh, I'm gonna be doing some AI graphic stuff that I am very interested to show you guys. And I'm going underwater now, so I'm gonna do this, watch some TV, watch some Succession. I'm on the last season now. Can finally be done with these TV shows, because I hate these TV shows, how they make you continuously think about them. So I'm gonna go back to movies after a TV show. I tried one after a few years. I'm either on short anime or TV shows. By the way, huge anime fan. I've watched probably over 100. There's this new one, Gachi Akuda, I'm waiting on new episodes for. But yeah, no more like long TV series. Those like drain your mental energy. So that is all. I'm going under, and let me time this. Peace out, boys.